Well, you've seen our first guest on shows like Undateable, Miracle Workers, and Loot. You've heard his voice on dozens of animated shows and movies like Trolls, Bob's Burgers, and Inside Out 2. He's the host of the Getting Better podcast, and we welcome back to AM Northwest actor and comedian Ron Funches. Good to see you again.
It's so good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
This has been a great year for me. I'm doing a lot of fun stuff and
Yeah.
feeling good. And I started Pilates, so I'm more limber.
You started Pilates,
I
really?
did.
Tell me about it. Like, what got you into it?
Oh, got into it was that I was feeling that I was not flexible at
Yeah.
all. I couldn't touch my toes. I couldn't do anything that I needed to do. And I'm like, I'm still a young man. I got
Yeah.
2 little kids to look after. So I was like, I got to get into something to stretch me out, get me going. And Pilates has been wonderful.
Does
for
it
me.
help with your jujitsu? Do you still do jujitsu?
It does, because it's both a lot of hip work. So
Yeah.
the hip and core, they really
Look
work
at
well
you.
together. Yeah, that's me right now. That was back when I had white belt. Now I'm a blue belt.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So what do you, is it white, yellow, blue?
It's white, blue. I'm
White,
only
blue.
on step 2.
Okay, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
then purple, brown, black.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Thank you.
So how else are you doing? So let's talk about Loot. Maya
Okay.
Rudolph, working
Yes.
with her. I adore her. Do you adore her?
Oh, you know I do, Helen.
Yeah.
She's an absolute legend. I mean, I loved her mom, Minnie Riperton.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of her whole lineage and family, and it was kind of overwhelming and little, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to just treat it like a regular job, but she's such a sweet person. She's the best boss I've ever had. She really lets you feel like you're adding to the show. A lot of times she'll come to me and ask me if a joke is funny, and I'm like,
wow.
Maya Rudolph's asking me if
Wow.
something's funny?
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel so good. It's a great job.
And then Inside Out 2, you played Bloofy, right?
Mm-hmm, Bloofy, yeah.
Tell me about that. Your kids must have been thrilled about that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was thrilled my whole life. People kind of made fun of my voice and the way that I spoke. And my dream once I got into voice acting was to be in a Pixar movie. And so now to be in the biggest one ever, and to be the first, I'm also the first 2D animated cartoon in a 3D Pixar movie. So that's kind of cool to me.
Tell me about Bloofy. Like, what's the character like?
Oh, basically he's a send-off of like Dora the Explorer and the old Mickey Mouse Clubhouse cartoons of
Here, is that you right there?
That's me right there. He's an early education cartoon that speaks directly to the kids, and he's been locked in a vault for a while, and I think he's lost his mind a little bit.
You said kids made fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
People made fun of you when you were a kid about your voice, but you are making a ton of money off of your voice.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things I always try to share with people. Sometimes I speak to kids. I work a lot with this program called School on Wheels that helps homeless and at-risk kids in Los Angeles. And I tell them to embrace the things that embarrass you, embrace the things that people make fun of you, because those will set you apart. And you never know, that may be the thing that helps buy your house like it did for me.
Yeah. Your 2 boys are just beautiful. Tell me about being a dad to them.
Oh, I'm really loving it. My oldest son is Malcolm. He's 21 now. He's a full man. He's on the autism spectrum, and I grew up with him. We kind of just grew up together, and didn't have much money, and just came up just really struggling, and then got a little more success, and I was like, well, I'm not done having kids. I'm not done being a dad. I've been a dad most of my adult life, and now I got my new son, Teddy Bear, and he's just the sweetest and the kindest, and so talkative and smart, and it's just been a really great experience.
Do you see either of them following in your footsteps?
Oh, I think Teddy might. He already does a lot of jokes. He does a lot of jokes. He does a lot of knock-knock jokes, and then last time I go, you're funny. And he goes, I already told you I was.
He already knows that.
Yeah.
He knows he's hilarious. I have to tell you something honestly, like from the heart. You are like the sweetest person. What is that? Did your mom raise you that way? Are you just the kindest person out there in show business?
You nailed it, Helen. My mom, it comes from my mom. I just treat people the way they treat me. I certainly like to lead with respect, and if someone matches that, I'll keep it going. But if you go the other way, I'm not opposed to being rude to you. But why be that way? My life's beautiful. I also, my life's turned out better than I ever could imagine, and there's certain points I thought I'd never make any money doing comedy, and I was struggling being a single dad. So to have the life I have now, it's easy to be happy.
Right, and you you have met and worked with some of the best. Let's talk about the Groundlings, getting together with the Groundlings.
Yes.
What was that like? This is like the top of the top when it comes to comedy.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of those people like Cedric Yarborough and Jordan Black, and especially Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar has been a big mentor to me, watching him on Mad TV, watching his voice acting. We've done a lot of work together. And so them to invite me to the Groundlings and do a show with them, doing improv, which is not even my skill set, was amazing, because I know that there's people have to go to school there for years to be able to perform on that stage. And now I'm performing on that stage at the same people, like Maya performed on that stage, Kristen Wiig performed on that stage, all those Saturday Night, like Phil Hartman, you know, there's all those people who performed on that stage, and now I got to as well, and it was pretty overwhelming.
And working with Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Or playing with Kathy Griffin.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Tell me about her. What is she like?
She's the sweetest human being you could ever meet, and she's also the strongest that I've ever met.
Yeah.
She's the only of all these comedians that say, oh, I've been canceled. She's the only one I think that really was.
Right, I agree.
Because she didn't do anything.
Right.
That, you know, she was doing a joke and she was doing comedy, and it took years of her career and a lot of harassment, and people, you know, she had to get a lot of security and things,
yeah,
and
she went through a
to
lot.
keep being herself, to never apologize for a joke, and to be still this someone that people really want to work with. People really love her. She's the best.
Yeah. You come back to Portland. Why do you keep coming back? You're playing at Helium.
Yes.
So we'll tell that. And you had a show last night.
Yes.
And did that go well?
It went well for 99% of the audience, except for one
There's
lady.
always one. There's always one. There's always one. Does it bother you when there's one person that...
Yes,
I know
it does.
I focus on the person that's not happy.
I think we're all like that.
Yeah.
I was looking at her, and I certainly would have yelled at her a little bit, or at least asked her why she was not happy. But I'm also trying to do a special hopefully next year. So I was like, I gotta stay working on my craft. So I just
ignore her. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Portland, what do you love about Portland? Because you do keep coming back.
Oh, I mean, I grew up here. I started comedy here. Started at Harvey's, and then Helium really took me under its wing and allowed me to feature and move up. And I think it's full of real people who are smart and fun, and you get a lot of just you know, a lot of progressive people, but at the same time, you get to see the real world here, and I love coming here because it's also nature. And then in LA, I miss a lot of that.
Yeah. So it reminds you of being back home?
Yeah, it really does, and I still have a lot of friends here. I come here and go out to lunch with people, or I'm going to go to the Portland Retro Game Expo tomorrow. So,
oh, fun.
Yeah.
By the way, did you get together with somebody with, let's see, some sparkles or glitter?
I got a little glitter
on your, I noticed
you gotta go to the strip club when you come to town. No, I got a gift. Someone sent me a gift with glitter, but I might go. You might see me at Casa Diablo. Who knows?
Okay, tell me about the Netflix party. Netflix is a joke.
Yes.
Get together. Tell me about that.
They had a very big festival, and part of it is that
who are all these people?
That's everyone.
Wow.
Dave Chappelle's in there.
No way.
Yeah, Sinbad's in there. Lunel's in there. Bert Kreischer, I think you could tell he's in there because he don't have a shirt on.
Well, he really loves to show off his torso, doesn't he?
He really does. He has the where does he get the confidence? I don't.
How does he get the confidence?
I don't know. Probably alcohol.
Yeah. So we mentioned Sinbad. He was on our show not that long ago, it feels like, and he had been through a really tough time medically. And it's happening. He's not doing well. Tell me about seeing him and how he is doing.
Yeah, and
because we all love him.
We all do love him, and I think it's just a reminder to, you know, give people your flowers while they're still here, and that's what that picture there was. Since he was out and about, and I hadn't seen him in so long, and he was very talkative and easy to communicate with, I just wanted to let him know that I wouldn't be a comedian if it wasn't for him, you know. Watching his old specials, watching his cruise ship specials, watching his TV shows with my mom, that's what got me interested in comedy. So I just wanted to make sure that he knew that, and I told him, man, I wouldn't be a comedian if it wasn't for you, and he said, I'm sorry to hear that. So.
He's very funny.
He's
very funny. And you said his daughter is taking care of him and all of that.
Family,
yeah.
Everybody's looking out for him. He's doing well, and I think he is just good to the outpouring, the long line of people to shake his hand and make sure they gave him respect. I think means a lot to him.
That's awesome. You're at Helium tonight.
Yes.
And tomorrow.
Yes.
And tomorrow. We're going to tell everyone if you want to find out more, we'll put all the information for you on our website at KHU.com. Ron, thank you so much. Great to see you again.
Always a pleasure. You're a legend, Helen. A pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.